Slush, how you do, buckaroos? How the heck are you? Well, I won't necessarily weave this into my holiday cocktails, but I was kind of in the mood for one, and it sort of fits the holidays. Although it's not specifically a holiday cocktail, but it's one you might want to have around the holidays, especially it's a good aperitif cocktail, let's just say. And I don't typically make one like this. So I made a very close traditional martini using Restless Spirits Builder's Botanical Gin, distilled from Midwestern grain, made with botanicals, orange peel, and pride. I've had other products from Restless Spirits and various versions of this gin, and I am rather impressed. This one's at 92 proof. We learned from our Irish immigrant heritage that you can't build anything of quality unless you first construct a strong foundation. Much like many of the buildings they built that are still standing, we took the time to craft our gin from only the best materials around. And we did it with a sense of overwhelming pride because we believe in our heartland character runs deep. Yeah, I mean, Restless Spirits is no joke. I gotta be honest with you. They are one of my favorites. Put that off to the side there. I might pick it up later. But it's a 92 proof gin. And those that know me know I usually do a dirty vodka martini, but I wanted to do more of a traditional martini. So I did, but I had to make it a little dirty, right? So I've got 2 ounces of the gin. I've got half ounce of olive juice. Why only a half ounce, you might ask? Because that's all I had left. I didn't realize I'd bled my olives dry. That's all I had left in that jar was a half ounce. But nevertheless, but like I said, I want to kind of go more traditional than I typically had done in the past. So I picked this up when I was on vacation because I hadn't bought a bottle of dry vermouth in quite some time. So I just opened this one to make this martini. Vermouth is a little tricky. It can go bad on you, but it's not going to go bad right away. Most experts will tell you just keep it refrigerated. You've got at least a year. You may have even more, but you've got about a year. And I'm using the Dolin, which isn't necessarily top of the line, but it's not near the bottom either. And I'm learning more about sweet vermouth because I'm a big Manhattan guy, so I'm working up the food chain. So eventually I will probably do the same with dry vermouth. But at the moment, this is kind of where I'm at in the food chain. I've worked my way up to Dolin. But there is a little bit dirty in there, as you can see. So I've got 2 ounces of the gin, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, half ounce of dirty. Just try. Oh God Almighty, that's delicious. That's just beautiful, man. It really has taken me a long time to warm up to gin. For the longest time, I just didn't like those botanicals, and it was mostly that juniper note that kind of turned me off. But as I've tried other gins, other than the names you know, it just seems like those names that you know are heavy on the juniper note. But when you start having crafted gin, you will see the botanicals balanced a little bit. You will see a lot of citrus notes added and different botanicals added to kind of balance the sharpness of the juniper. Good gin doesn't have to be all juniper. You do want to taste some of that, don't get me wrong. But for me, I want to balance, and again, a lot of big citrus going on here as well. So I am warming up to gins in my old age, but I do like a martini. The martini, I'm probably not ever going to be a gin and tonic guy, but I do like every once in a while. Just a martini just sounds good, and I'm not really sure why. Typically in the summer, but even now as we we're approaching uh, Christmas, we were knee deep into the holiday season. Yeah, just it's that change of pace, right? I'm having all of these decadent beers, barrel aged beers, decadent cocktails, but something as stripped down as a martini just sounds good every once in a while. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is the very most dry vermouth I've ever put in a martini ever. I usually just kind of hold the bottle and just wave it around the drink. Or I'll do just, maybe spill a drop in here. But I said, okay, let's do it a little bit different this time. So I did add a full ounce in here, and I got to tell you, I really like it. I like the way it does help balance those juniper notes. Now, in all honesty, I don't know that I'll ever do it again. I think probably about a half ounce for me, but a full ounce here, yeah, it is very different. I think it works for what I was trying to accomplish here. What were you trying to accomplish, Tom? Well, I was trying to get real close, real close to a traditional martini, as far as I get to a traditional anything. Because I always like to put my spin on it. I do like tradition, I do, but I always want to put my own little spin on it. Because I'm a firm believer that recipes are not written in stone, right? Everything's a guideline. Take that and make it to your taste. Things don't have to be done exactly to that recipe. You make it to how you like it. You use the products you like. You use the proportions you like. Yeah, it's interesting. It does change the game quite a bit. I've never used a full ounce of dry vermouth. I've never done it before. Because, like I said, I usually don't use it at all. Sometimes I've just kind of, rimmed the glass or rubbed a little bit, or I usually just kind of wave the ball around. Let the spirit of the dry vermouth get in there. Here's the idea. Let me just do this. But no, I really wanted to try something different here, so I wanted to go. I wanted to make as close to traditional uh, martini as I'm ever going to get. And here I'm using a hollow stem coupe. Why use that glass, you might ask, and not a traditional martini glass? I feel like a lot of places are getting away from that wide brim martini glass. Because I don't feel like, in all honesty, that's not really a traditional martini glass. That's kind of the way things ended up in the, 40s, 50s, 60s. But traditionally, a lot of those classic cocktails were made in a coupe style glass like this. A martini, the Manhattan, a French 75, which can use a flute, but a lot of places have always used a coupe. This glass just lets you do all of the above. And quite frankly, it's just a better drink, right? I mean, it's a more approachable drink. You're not worried about spilling it down. Yeah. I mean, for me anyway, I feel like it's more elegant in a glass like this too. Uh, so it's really up to you. It's up to you. It's up to whatever bar you're getting it from. But if you're paying attention, a lot of bars are getting away from those classic wide brim glasses because they're a waste of space. There are a lot of cocktails. I mentioned three, but there are many others that you can, in many other, more upscale cocktails that you can make using the coupe. The coupe can take up the place of a lot of other glasses, so it just makes sense to use this glass because you can use it for a lot of different things. Almost anything designed to drink straight up a Manhattan, a Martini, anything designed to drink straight up, you can use a coupe for. And it still gives you that elegance, right? Anyways, anyways, I digress. This is nice. I hadn't made myself a martini in a while, and I bought this dry vermouth back at the end of September when we were on vacation. But I hadn't opened it. It had been sitting in the fridge until now. And that's the thing. You do need to keep vermouth. You do need to keep vermouth refrigerated. But it's not going bad right away, folks. You got a good year. There's no need to panic. Relax. You got some time. But yes, you should keep it refrigerated. It will last longer if you keep it refrigerated. Once opened. Now, I immediately put the dry vermouth in the fridge when we got it because I knew I was going to want it cold. But again, the second you open it, yeah, put it back. Just put it back in the fridge. You're fine. Forget about it. You've got about a year on it. Builder's Gin. This stuff is really good, man. I got to tell you. Told you I'd pick up that bottle again here at some point. Double gold winner, 96. Builder's Botanical Gin. I've had various incarnations of this over the years. And it's one of my favorite gins. And like I said earlier, I'm not necessarily a gin guy. I'm a whiskey guy. But this is one of the this is one of the gins that really made me think I could like gin. Was the Restless Spirits Builders, and then various versions of. And then they had a barrel version that I really love. So barrel gins is really what I like the most. But if I'm having a gin, yeah, this one is rather amazing. But then again, I am a big fan of Restless Spirits. If you get a chance to get out there in North Kansas City, you really ought to. Their whiskeys are insane. They do single American single malt whiskeys that will just knock your socks off. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, even though I'm not drinking whiskey at this particular moment in time, so we're just going to skip to the end. I'll just skip to the end, man. All around good guys. A lot of shit. Thank you.